Good evening, good evening. Good evening. Thank you, thank you. If we can take our seats, we're going to get started. My name is Pastor Stevante, pastor of the Future Community Church. Also, I serve as the director of our Sacramento Youth Huddle. Thank you, Dr. Marita, thank you. Please, if we can take our seats so we can get started. I know y'all are hungry, because I'm hungry. Again, welcome to Sacramento, our Gala night. We're excited to be here. Again, my name is Pastor Stevante, pastor of the Future Community Church, also the director of our Youth Huddle for Sacramento. And it's just a privilege just to see our growth and the excellence. So with that, I just want to welcome you to our Gala night. Make yourself comfortable. Make sure that you connect and network with somebody. Show yourself friendly, all right, because you never know where this may lead, all right? If you could bow with me for a word of prayer, we'll open up and move into our program. Thank you, Lord, for this day, for this evening, Father God. We thank you for the time tonight to fellowship, to connect, to honor, and most of all, just to have fun and to do it with excellence. So we thank you for this night. We thank you for the Sacramento chapter. We thank you for every family that's representative here. In the name of Jesus, God bless it. Lord, we thank you for your imprint and your thumbprint, and thank you for the blueprint. We'll give your name the glory. In Jesus' name, amen. Welcome.
All right. Thank you. My name is Dr. Tecoy Porter, and I am the president and founder of the National Action Network Sacramento chapter. Yes. Thank you for coming to our party, a little small party that we have here tonight. This is a part of a 3-day conference in which we have the theme of building bridges. How many here? Well, let me tell you, you're here because you are a bridge builder. A bridge builder. Yeah, put your hands together for that. And it's our desire to recognize you who are organizations, individuals who are actively knitting communities together to bring about a better society and world. And we have 10 honorees tonight that we're going to recognize for their long-standing bridge building work here in California. And they range all the way from grassroots organizations, elected officials, social justice activists, and educational leaders and major corporations. If you are a honoree, first you should be at that middle table, at least a representative, because we want at least one honoree there. But I want all of the honorees just to stand up real quickly, all 10 of them. Yes, you're gonna meet them later. We're grateful for them. Yeah, clap it up for them. Thank you so much. And also this event, the celebration, celebrates our 5 years. We're 5 years old, y'all. The National Action Network, Sacramento chapter. And in that 5 years, we've been able to do some significant work, and we've accomplished some significant things in a short time. Highlights of that work include passage of AB 392, the Stephon Clark Law here in California. Yep. It is the first of the nation to produce police reform, and it changed the use of force standard from reasonable to necessary. Somebody say necessary. Right. And again, this bill basically changes the culture of policing in California, and again, it is a first of its nation. We're happy to be a part of that, and we're happy to have been a part of on the front line during the COVID-19 pandemic, ensuring that the hardest hit communities receive tests, masks, gloves, and vaccines. And we didn't do it by ourselves. We did it with many of you who came together to make that happen. We have influenced education policies to help close the African American achievement gap statewide. We're really big on education reform. Come on. And you'll learn more as to why we are doing this thing from one of our honorees. We have promoted the equal and fair treatment of all workers by big corporations, by standing side by side with labor unions and supporting workers' rights, while at the same time working with corporations to establish diversity, equity, and inclusion standards in California, and increase employment, training, and career opportunities for communities of color. Then, ACTION is our middle name. It's right there, National Action Network, right? And that's what we do. A lot of people say, what do you do? Well, if you need us, we're going to be there. That's what we do. We try to be there and try to fill the gap. And I believe that NAN is needed now more than ever, not just in Sacramento, but in California, because California is not immune to racial violence, police brutality, mass shootings, or inequities in our health care or education system. And also with Sacramento being the capital of California, the fourth largest economy in the world, our voices must be heard, right? Our voices must be heard. So I want to just start off. I want to be a good president if I didn't encourage you to join NAN, to support NAN, right? In the way you can. Some of y'all can become members, and many have. We got some new members out there, right? There we go. One, yep, a two, yeah, a couple of new members. Yes, thank you. Guess what? It's really not expensive to join NAN. It's $25. Secrets of $25. It's just $25 to become a member right there. If you come to my church, we ask for way more during tithes and offering. It's kind of a joke, but not really. And so, but you know what? I'm like this. It's like preventative medicine. Why don't you become a part of us before you need us? Right. And the more that joins the Army, that's a part of the organization, the more that we can help each other out, because it's all about being our brother and sister's keeper. Am I right about it? Great. Come on. Can you just clap your hands for those who are here today? And we are grateful for you all here. Listen, I got some friends. They couldn't make it in person, but they wanted to send their greetings. So pay attention to the screens. We're going to hear from some familiar faces. The first one being Dr. Shirley Weber, the Secretary of State of California.
Hello and welcome everyone to the Building Bridges Awards Gala. Tonight you are celebrating 5 years of NAN, National Action Network, Sacramento chapter. Let's be proud of what you've accomplished, but let's stay humble and on task for what still lies ahead. I'm Dr. Shirley Weber, California's first African American Secretary of State, and I wish I could be there with you tonight to help you celebrate. The National Action Network does amazing work across the country, but the Sacramento chapter, I'm extremely proud of because of its president, Dr. Tecoy Porter, who is an outstanding leader and has this chapter as an outstanding and a standout organization. Over the years, Dr. Porter has become a dear friend of mine. He and his choir have sang at all the various activities around the Capitol, and most importantly, at my inauguration this year as Secretary of State.
Like this. Oh, happy day.
In addition to being an amazing minister, Dr. Tecoy Porter has also worked to bring about change in social justice issues across the state and this nation. He helped me so much with AB 392, with the reparations bill, with the issues of gang list and gang forces in communities. He helped to reform the state of California like no other individual has been able to do. And we worked together on those issues that brought change, and he's been a strong force for that. For that reason, I think NAN Sacramento is one of the best chapters. It's mentored our young people. It's given a voice to the issues that are so very important. And I can't help but thank Dr. Porter for his work and for all of the NAN members of the Sacramento chapter. You have been a force in this nation, in this state, and I celebrate you, not just for the 5 years that you've been in existence in Sacramento, but the force that you've brought across this nation. You've introduced change to us in a way that has not been seen in many other places. So I congratulate you on the 5 years, and I look forward to 5 more years and many, many more to come. Have a wonderful evening. You deserve to celebrate, but once again, stay focused on what we must do. There still remains a lot of work to be done in California and across this nation. Congratulations and have a wonderful evening.
now we have, all the way from New York, the founder and president of the National Action Network, the Reverend Al Sharpton.
Hi, this is Reverend Al Sharpton. First, let me say how genuinely I am proud of the Sacramento chapter of National Action Network and Reverend Tecoy Porter, the fearless and ever working, always working, committed servant there as president of the chapter, he and his whole family. I couldn't be there due to a lot of scheduling conflicts after the convention, but I wanted to say to you that with the passage of AB 392, law in the state of California, the Stephen Clark law, first in the country, and it really changes policing culture. That alone would be enough to salute and celebrate the Sacramento chapter and Reverend Porter. But when you add to it the work that you've done around corporations being fair, and around community engagement with young people, and around the consistent battling in terms of cases and legal structures, on and on and on. Sacramento has made National Action Network and the work that we want to see done nationally something that you have mastered and you have made us proud. I urge you with all I can to continue to support Reverend Porter, continue to build that chapter, continue to work along with the Clark family, because clearly we are in a time that our nation, not only our community, but our nation is at stake. And it is people like you in the Sacramento chapter, like Tecoy Porter, that we're dependent on to turn this nation around. Let's keep going to work. Congratulations, pat yourself on the back, and let's go to work.
All right, who's hungry? Well, guess what? Hungry or not, dinner's about to be served. We're about to work it out. I'm going to ask the house band to come on back while we work things out. Beverly, you going to help us work this out? Yeah. So we're going to follow the directions of her, and then we're going to make sure it happens. So get to know your neighbor, your table. If not, get to know somebody else. Nice networking time. Greet them, all right? There's a lot of great people in the room. I selected them all myself, so dinner is served. All right, everybody's been served. Yeah, it sounds like it, because y'all, sounds like you're eating. Good. Hope the food is good. I know it is. We're gonna have greetings from the mayor's office. He was here, he came, he just was sick, but actually showed up earlier today. We got a picture and stuff, but he wanted to just come and say hello. But we're gonna have an official statement from his office from Chinua Rhodes.
All right, so, you know, they told me I was gonna get up here and talk on behalf of the mayor about 10 minutes ago, so not playing. In all seriousness, thank you guys for joining tonight. One of the things that is very astonishing for me to be here in this space today is because I'm here in this space with so many warriors for justice, warriors for community, and people who I look up to and work alongside. And so it's breathtaking to be in awe of your wonder, your beauty. And on behalf of the mayor of the city of Sacramento, we want to say thank you to Dr. Porter for his work. We are in support of your work, Dr. Porter, and Nan, and what you guys have doing here. We would also like to say something that I think that is important in the moment. We are always facing seemingly turbulent times, and we've came a long way as a city, but we still have ways to go. But one thing that's for sure that my grandfather used to tell me all the time, the only thing more constant than change is the opposition to change. Now let that sit in your spirit real quick. The only thing more constant than change is the opposition to change. But change still happens, especially if that change is righteous. And everybody in this space today, you guys are on the side of righteousness. And the work that continually needs to be had in our city of Sacramento, you guys are stewards of that work. And from the bottom of my heart and from the mayor's office, we applaud you, we thank you, and Southside pride, of course. I'm a Southside boy, so I gotta say it for everybody in it. You know what it is. He's from the Southside too, so you gotta let me get that one off. But besides that, besides being a son of the South Side of the city, the mayor represents all of the city. And everyone in this space, we want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Continue the good fight, and let's get this done together. Gracias.
I told him he sounds like a preacher. It's like just brief statements, you know. He took him like 5-10 minutes. No, thank you, Chenrai, for that, and we appreciate the mayor for coming and sending representation. So I'm here to give you a little bit more about NAN. We're going to honor our honorees, and so I have a quick video presentation, and then after which I have a wonderful singer, recording artist that's going to come and bless you. She came all the way from the Bay to bless us and to really lift our spirits. Her name is Lena Byrd Miles, and she is like #1 on the Billboard charts right now. And let me tell you, you're about to find out why. One of the cool things about being a pastor, you get to meet cool people. And she is cool people. And I saw her about a year ago in the airport. We were flying to different places. And I said, I'm going to have you come on over to Sacramento, and I'm going to do it right. And I told her that. I said, remember my promise? She said, yep. I said, this is the promise right here. And so when you see her come up, I want you to really give her some Sacramento love right after this video presentation.
I can't breathe. Please, the name of it. I can't breathe shit.
There's renewed anger in the United States over police violence.
All I want is my baby brother back.
Oh my God, please don't tell me he's dead.
You changed the world, George.
We are there to protect and serve.
No.
Louder! Louder! Louder!
Hey, show me your hands! Stop! Stop!
Police body camera video released by the Sacramento Police Department shows the moment 2 officers opened fire on Stevante Clark.
5-7 shots fired, subject down. My name is Stevante Clark. I'm the brother of Stefan Alonzo Clark. Shortly after the death of my brother, I reached out to the Reverend Al Sharpton.
But we are advocates. We are advocates for criminal justice reform. We are advocates against police brutality. But most importantly, we are a voice for the voiceless.
NAN is National Action Network. It is a civil rights and social justice organization that was founded by the Reverend Al Sharpton.
Well, NAN has been there for the very first start. That what happened with my grandson in the backyard. They was there. I didn't know what to do. I was like devastated.
A lot of times you find organizations that focus on the problem, but NAN is so focused on people, making sure that the people have meals and resources and things that they need outside of this situation.
Well, our world is broken, and Sacramento, unfortunately, is not immune to this brokenness.
A lot of times we see that police are not held accountable for their actions. We have seen over the years many Black and brown individuals who have been killed at the hands of police, and there have been no accountability for that.
We need organizations that's willing to take action, you know? And NAN is an action network. They're not just with the talk, you know?
We've moved
past the grief and the sorrow into the activism to make children's lives better.
The leaders here in Sacramento are profound in my eyesight, just for the work that they do behind the scene.
We are serving the community. The community sees us in the forefront. The community hears us at the forefront. The community has faith in us at the forefront.
One, at its core, it is very much rooted in the Black church. Everything about NAN, for the most part, is almost like a church service when we get together. And so that core, that base of Christianity and the Black experience makes it very unique.
We want to make sure that everyone is able to live a quality life and not have to worry about or fear for their lives just because they encounter the police.
Well, NAN needs champions, people who are willing to get off the sidelines and get into the action.
In supporting NAN, you essentially are supporting your hopes, your dreams.
As a member of NAN, you will be able to help us mobilize and organize to be able to help make systemic change happen, not only now, but in the future.
NAN is the type of organization that is actually doing the work.
We're out advocating to bring people together to fight for justice, for inequalities.
It's important to have a civil rights organization that, yes, responds to the crisis, but also goes beyond the crisis to create stable communities.
I know that they're trying to do good work. I want to see the world continue to evolve and change, and I want to be a part of that.
NAN is important because of Tyree Nichols, Stephon Clark, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and the other countless names that go unnamed. That's why NAN is important, to call for justice in these areas.
No justice, no peace.
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 Good evening, Sacramento. Good evening. We all are still eating, I see. I am Lena Byrd Miles, all the way from Oakland, California, and I'm honored to be with you all tonight to sing some gospel. Do I have any gospel music lovers in the audience? The first song that I'm going to sing, first of all, thank you, Dr. Tecoy, for having me, and your team, and just all of you for having me and listening to me while you're chewing meat and mashed potatoes and all that. This first song that I'm going to sing is titled "This Is the Day," and it's a song I would say that we would kind of remind ourselves to first give thanks to God before we do anything else, before we fight for justice, before we check emails and get the things in order for our children and families. We have to first talk to God, who can give us direction for our day and how to run and operate in meetings and how to do the next strategy that we can see successful results with God's help. Amen? Any believers in the room? All right. So, and it's also a day that we can reconcile things with family, or we can, start a business, whatever it is. You can seize the moment of the day. Whatever blessings God has in store for you, whatever chapter you are on in your life, and you just give it to God to handle. This is the day to get it right. So that's the first song I'm going to sing, This Is the Day. The second song is titled Watch Me, which is saying we should just keep watching God, keep our focus on what He has for us, and we'll see Him work things out in our lives. Watch me work, and this is the day. Thank you again for having me. A little bit more. Good morning. I get to open my eyes one more time, praying that I get it right this time. Good morning. I'm thanking God first, 'cause everything works. Family is doing just fine. I'll never take life for granted. But when I wake up, first I'll kneel and say, thank you, God, for a new day. And I just wanna say thanks to you for this day. So can I just tell you, God, good morning before I pick out what I'm gonna wear to the gala tonight. Lord, I just had to say good morning before I eat my dinner. Please allow me to show my gratitude to you, Lord. I'll never take life for granted, 'cause everyone's not fortunate to live another day. When you wake up, you should kneel then say, thank you, Lord, that I can see, that I can hear, that I can walk and talk. I just wanna say thank you for all you do for me, how you keep me, how you reward me. Can I thank you just for waking me up? Somebody else didn't wake up tomorrow. It's not promised to any of us. So when you wake up, yes, always acknowledge him. Yes, I just wanna thank you for how you keep me housed, how you keep me clothed. Just thank you, Lord. You've been real, real good, and you're always so good. Wanna thank you for everything that you use me to do. I'll always tell you first, good morning. Thank you, thank you. You have to always acknowledge God. When you guys feel like saying a little bit, I just want you guys to say, this day. Can you say that? This day. I'm gonna point the mic. We praise you for this day that we're in. We've never seen before, but you're doing great things. You're doing wonderful things. We're celebrating great things. Keep on doing you, God. Keep on proving yourself and moving on our behalf. We thank you for the favor. We thank you for community. We thank you for camaraderie. Oh, thank you for this day. We praise you for this day. We love you for this day. And we take advantage of this day. And this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. I'm glad I got to see. I'm glad I got to see. I'm glad that I'm alive. Anybody glad that they're alive? Oh, this is God's day. And whatever He decides, I'm in agreement with it. Oh, this day. And the day after, I'll always give you praise. We praise you for this day. This day. I hear y'all. Y'all sound so good. Thank y'all for singing with me. Now y'all can say, I sang with Lena Byrd Miles. Give it up for all my background singers. Thank you. Thank you so much, so much. Yes. Well, this next song, as I stated before, is titled Watch Me. We wrote this song, the producer of the label that I'm on, Warren Campbell. We wrote this song during the pandemic when you couldn't travel due to airlines shutting down for a while and studio capacities and rules and guidelines and quarantine rules. were happening. So we actually had to write music over Zoom, send ideas to one another through FaceTime, or sing this real quick, I hear this real quick. So Watch Me was a song that came to me and him while he was playing the keyboard. And it was during that time everybody was fighting over Lysol and toilet tissue. You remember them days? Standing in line at Costco, trying to get paper towels, all of that stuff. But I felt God giving us that song to encourage us that even though we didn't really see what the pandemic all had in store for us, we would still see great things happening in the pandemic, and we did. I know several people who started businesses and found other streams of income doing when they lost jobs otherwise and were let go otherwise. We still saw God do miraculous things. Anybody else, or am I alone? Anybody see any miracles? Okay, I see a few hands. So we still got some believers who did see, and then there are some who are yet to see. So this song is definitely saying, keep watching for what God has in store. This is not the end, and we still believe that God has great things, even though you might be in a trial or a situation that's uncomfortable. Right now, God can still bring you out. He can still give you victory. He can still give you triumph in your trial. And you won't always be the victim, but you'll be the victor. All right? This song is Watch God Work. Just like the time I opened up the sea, God is saying, watch me, why don't you watch me? Or like David and the giant, what a victory. Just like that, watch me. All he wants you to do is watch me. He's saying, stay right where you are, I will do great things. Stand still and watch me. Watch me, 'cause I'm still able to do more than you can ask or think. My child, watch me. Just watch me. I heard you when you cried out to me. I saw you when you fell to your knees. But I still have the power and I can fix anything. Just watch me. Just watch me. I'm God and ain't nothing ever been impossible for me. Nothing's impossible for God. I'm the God of all your miracles. I'm bigger than anything you've seen. All you have to do is watch me. Yeah. Keep your focus on me. God is saying, I'm not through blessing all of you. Just wait and see. Wait and see. I am God and I love you, and I'll bring you through whatever you face. You can make it, you can go on, yeah. Just bring your problems on.
our board members to help us out in honoring our honorees. So I'm going to bring up Reverend Stefan DeBose to kick us off and recognize our first honoree.
All right, listen, I got to just address the elephant in the room. I am a musician, and I'm still kind of in awe of Lena. Come on, y'all got to give it up for Lena Byrd one more time. Oh my goodness, absolutely, absolutely. But we're excited tonight to pay homage and honor to those that are in the community doing the work, right? Not just being a voice, but doing the work. And more importantly, doing it with excellence, serving with excellence. And it just gives me a wonderful honor to stand tonight to honor our first recipient tonight, Mr. Tyler McClure. Can we give it up for him? Mr. Tyler McClure. As he's coming, Tyler and I have grown up together at St. Paul Baptist Church under Dr. Ephraim Williams, and it's just been an honor and a blessing to see him grow into a fine young man, doing work and maintaining a heart for our youth. So please check him out. Tyler McClure doing activism work. So let's give it up for Tyler McClure.
That's all I need is 2 minutes. Good evening, everybody. Thank you. You know you're getting the award, but it still feels different when they call your name. But I won't be here long. I just want to first off thank God. I mean, he's the reason why we're able to do the work, right? But Proverbs 31, 8 and 9 says, "Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and needy." So activism, commonly defined, the policy or action of using vigorous campaigning to bring about political or social change. In my own words, fighting for a cause bigger than yourself to make the world a better place than when you found it or when it found you. So, minister, activist, father, and mentor are all great things to be, but I found that the greatest things to be are intentional and consistent. So, while the pandemic in our world has been very real, we've been dealing with a serious epidemic in our communities for centuries. I believe we're losing our youth to systemic oppression, racism, gun violence, and toxic technology. They are in need of structure, alternative, substance, love, and examples. So I'm humbled tonight to receive this award and be recognized because doing the right things or the righteous things are not always acknowledged. But I am mindful that it is God who's not just reminding me, but all the honorees here this evening, that he sees our work. Christ was an advocate for the voiceless, the fatherless, those in need, and also community. So to be set apart to do the work and serve our young people, to serve Sacramento is truly a privilege. Last but not least, I'll leave you with this. The word says that the harvest is plenty, but the workers are few. So tonight, I want to just encourage and challenge everyone here to be a part of the work because there's enough for all of us to go around. Appreciate y'all.
And along with our recognition, you do have a certificate of recognition from Senator Angelique Ashby, all right, for each of our honorees. And this one says Tyler McClure, Community Activist, Activism Award, National Action Network, Sacramento. It's a privilege to honor your outstanding dedication and ongoing commitment to our community's well-being. Your steadfast efforts exemplify a passion and force for good that has consistently made a positive difference to promote community engagement, focusing on public safety and unified justice. Angelique Ashby, 8th Senate District, May 5th, 2023. All right, next up we have none other than let's say the reason why we actually all are here is because of what occurred a block away from our church. Our church is on the south side, located on Meadowview Road, and unfortunately, I remember the day like it was yesterday, March 18th, the son brother, a young man was slain in his grandmother's backyard by police mistaking his cell phone for a gun. And because of that, we are here. We are here because of that family's tragedy, but then we are also here because that family has turned that tragedy, that pain into power and purpose. And one of the ways that they have done that is by creating the I Am SAC Foundation, in which they lift up impacted families like theirs. And so we thought it well in this 5th anniversary that we lift them up. So I would like Stevante Clark, I would like the Clark family, Sequita Thompson, all y'all come on up and be recognized. Come on, clap your hands, because they are the reason why we are here and the reason why we continue to be. Come on, can you just give them a standing ovation? And we're grateful for Angela Gatsby's people. Come on, they're here at the office. We want them to be a part. We're gonna take a photo real quick.
All right. I'm here to accept this award on behalf of my brother, Stefan Clark. Somebody's phone ringing. But this award, I don't really receive awards like that because it's for Stefan Clark. My brother should be alive today. If my brother wasn't gunned down 20 times in my grandmother's backyard, I wouldn't be here. Stefan should be alive today. The officers who killed my unarmed brother in my grandmother's backyard should be fired, charged, and convicted. You should know the difference between a gun and a cell phone. Anytime you do something so bad that a law must be created, you should be held accountable. And we sick and tired of being sick and tired. I also believe that passion without direction is chaos. When you see me jumping on the mayor's desk or you see me on Don Lemon, that might be a little chaotic, but when you see the creation of Stefan's house, which has been open 3 years with little to no support, we help impacted mothers that have lost their children. We give them emotional, financial support, whether it be community violence or police violence. We're there for the mothers. We have a mother's brunch coming up May 14th, full of nothing but mothers that have been impacted. But I want to thank Dr. Porter, because there was one point he was kicking me out of his church, but me and him are good friends now. I love him. I thank him for this award. I appreciate the National Action Network, Sacramento. But I just want to say that we need the support from the people when it comes to preventing Stefan's from ever happening again. And at Stefan's house within I Am SAC Foundation, we're doing the work. I also want to thank Margaret Fortune, for the Stefan Clark College Preparatory Middle School. Yes, we gotta appreciate Margaret Fortune. And like I said, we still fighting for justice and accountability on not some levels, but all levels. No justice, no justice,
no justice. What do we want? When do we want it? And if we don't get it, and if we don't get it, and if we don't get it, I said if we don't get it, I said you can't stop the revolution. I'm done. I love y'all.
All right. And can I have the impacted, those that came with the Clark family, just stand today. We want to honor you as well, some of our impacted families. Grateful for you. Yes. Thank you. Moving on, when we first started, but along lines, we first started the social justice work in the National Action Network. We did not send the bar, the template, but there are many organizations that have been doing this work. One such organization that's been very unique in doing this work is called Sacramento ACT. And it's led by a very capable young lady who has taken this organization to a whole nother level, and her name is Gabby Trejo. Gabby Trejo. One day I'm gonna be able to roll my R's and make it right, but I really just want to recognize her today because she is truly a bridge builder, and she's been recognized as one of the 25 top Latin leaders, young leaders here in the city of Sacramento. But she's always been top in our book. And so I want you to give it up for Gabby Trejo, Executive Director of Sacramento ACT. Come on. Is this hers, is it? Yeah. So I'm going to do this first and then I'll come back with you.
We just pose for it and we get it later.
All right. Well, it's in there. Let's get the right one. Let's do this. Let's have her speak, and then we'll get her after that. We'll find it. There's so many, right?
Thank you, and thank you, Dr. Porter, for having me here. Congratulations on 5 years. Can we just give it up for them? Because 5 years is a long time, but it's not, I just can't imagine, right, where we will be 50 years from now, because the work, there's so much work to do, and there's plenty for all of us, right? We all will play a role. And so for me, I just want to say thank you for this honor. I really feel like I should have leaders here, some of you that are in the room, like Pastor Joy and Bishop and the Simmons family and others, because I'm just a face. Really, I get the blessing to both live my faith and every day. It was really faith-based community organizing that has brought me back to the church. You know, I was raised Catholic, but I really never questioned what it meant for me to be a woman of faith. What was God actually asking of me, right? How do I actively live my faith? I used to think that my activism was something separate from my faith. And it was the leaders that I have encountered through ACT. It has been through the stories and the powerful community that I have built here in Sacramento that have made this job, one, feel not lonely, even in times of chaos. And even in times of uncertainty, I always know that God always places the right people, the right organizations on my way. And so I just want to say thank you. And I just look forward to what we are going to do together as a community in Sacramento, because our families deserve it. And so thank you.
Let's take one more picture with the rifle. We want to take one more picture. We found it. We want to take one more picture. There you go. I'm going to invite to the stage a person we'll be honoring, but she sits on our board as well, and that is in the person of Dr. Margaret Fortune, to introduce our next honoree. Come on, clap your hands for her as she comes.
Thank you so much, Pastor Porter. I get the honor of recognizing an honoree who has become very dear to my heart. He is a former Pittsburgh Steeler, where he was the captain of the team, the youngest captain. He was a strong safety. He hails from Fresno, and when he decided to retire from the NFL, he decided that he would give of himself by opening a school in the community where he is from. So I want to bring to the stage Robert Golden. I've had the honor of visiting Robert's school and seeing his scholars and his vision come alive. He could have done anything with his accolades, his time, and his recognition, but he decided to give to the community and to the children of Fresno. Thank you so much, and congratulations, Robert.
How we doing this evening? How we doing? Oh, come on now. Y'all can do better than that. How we doing in here? You know, the great Maya Angelou once said that nothing works unless you do. She said that nothing works unless you do. So if you want change, we got to be the change. If we want hope, we got to give hope. If we want better, we have to be better. Nothing works unless we do. Amen? Amen, amen. You know, I want to give an honor to God. You know, it's such a cliche thing to say whenever you're receiving an award, but it's because of him that I get to be a vessel to do the work that I do on a daily basis. Want to honor my wife. You know, the Bible says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. So the reason why I do the things that I do is because of the favor that I have upon my life. Shout out to my mother-in-law, who's been by our side as we develop Golden Charter Academy, my family back in the Fresno area. Such an honor, you know, but I'm truly excited about receiving this award and being here with you all here in the Sacramento area. It's such a blessing, it's such an honor, it's such a privilege. And Dr. Fortune, she's awesome, isn't she? She's awesome. The work that you've done, that's what I aspire to do. So for you to be an example and a pillar here in the state of California, you are an inspiration, and I truly appreciate you for extending this invitation to me. So with that, I appreciate you all. Go Steelers, be golden.
And on behalf of Senator Ashley, we have another certificate. All right. Cool.
All right. It is, and good evening. My name is Daniel Washington, District Director for Senator Ashby. I'd just like to say it's an honor and a privilege to be here in this space with so many leaders that are champions of peace and justice. So we thank you for your courage and for your fight and your tenacity to continue to be in a voice for the voiceless. So thank you.
Thank you.
Right. So, like I said, We didn't start this work. I am more than happy to acknowledge those who have come before us in the work of social justice, civil rights, because there's always shoulders that you stand upon. And this woman's shoulders are broad, and they are strong. I have seen her out here, sometimes just me and her, sitting at the press conference, sitting with family, consoling them, counseling. She's bailed some of y'all out of jail. And you know who I'm talking about. Is none other than the president, the longest reigning president of the Greater Sacramento NAACP, in the person of Betty Williams. Come on, put your hands together for her as she comes.
First and foremost, I do want to give honor to God, who is the head of my life, and without him, there's no way I can do this job. In addition to that, it takes an entire team for NAACP and me as the leader to do this job. So I'm going to ask my entire NAACP executives to stand up so that they can be acknowledged, so that you know that I don't do this work by myself, and I'm just so honored that they all came. And all my vice presidents, they never come at the same time. The fact that they're here. But the fact that I'm honored to have this award, I'm just so humbled, and I'm thankful, and I'm amongst giants. And I feel embarrassed that I asked an NFL player to give me some water. I didn't know who he was until a minute ago. And so, but I'm not supposed to. And that's what my job is about. Talking and working with individuals who don't have that voice, who don't think they're worthy and don't think that anybody would listen to them in the first place. By the time they come to the NAACP, they have exhausted everything, and sometimes even their pride. They have called on Jesus, and they've come to the NAACP, but again, I don't do alone. I thank you, Dr. Porter, for every single time I called. When we did the Asian Against the Hate, called you and you were there. When we did the hate against African Americans at the Capitol, you were there. When I called you with Tyree Nichols, you were there. Every single time, you don't hesitate. I thank his wife. Because I have to wonder sometimes if she says, "Where you going?" We just sat down to eat. But that's the gap, and that's the celebration that we're doing. And I'm just so thankful and honored. And just so you know, I will always be that gap for you, for this community, whenever you call. Thank you so much.
How we doing out there? Good. Yeah. Isn't this wonderful? Yeah. Aren't they deserving? Yes. Come on. Clap it up for everyone that's come already. This next person is no stranger to awards. And the reason being is because he has found an organization that simply does the work. And that's none other in the person of Chet Hewitt and the Sierra Health Foundation. They have given over millions of dollars to really fund the work in the health space, social justice space, education, Black Child Legacy. They're there. Actually, I can't even name off all of the organizations that he started through the Sierra Health Foundation. But let's have you all just stand up when you're in the room, and let's give them a hand. There they are. They're around there. Greg, Chet, congratulations. Thank you for all the work you did.
Let me start by thanking God for all the blessings that have been bestowed upon me in this life. I also want to thank my wonderful wife who's been with me all across this journey. This year we'll celebrate 20 years of marriage. I truly feel like I am one blessed individual. I also want to thank my two boys, who are not here with me tonight, but for whom give me a marker for the work that I do. Because I say to people all the time, it's the things that shape my work and my direction is my faith and my desire for all children to have what I've been blessed to give to my own boys. That's what our communities, that's what our children deserve. In Luke it says, to whom much is given, much is required. And as a young man who didn't start with a whole lot, a kid from the projects in New York City, who had a rough start, but who found a few people who would love him enough, showed him enough grace to give him second, third, fourth, and fifth chances, who managed to find his way to some measure of success. You know, my heart, my faith calls me to always be of service to others. And I hope in some small measure I am paying back all that was poured into myself. You know, people think that I've done a good work at my job. I tell them all the time, I've simply found my vocation. This is who I am. This is what I want to do. It has never felt like work. I want to congratulate NAN for all of its work. I feel like we are kindred spirits, advocates who stand on different platforms, but who have the same hope and aspirations for justice, for peace, for equity, for inclusion, and a good life for all. Thank you so much.
So a couple of years back, a young lady came on the scene in District 8, and that's my district where the church is at. And when the loss of Stevante Clark occurred, you know, everybody put their arms around the family, and everybody, every leader stepped up. And this is one of the leaders that stepped up in a major way. She was on the school board, and then she moved and ran for city council. And talking about a person who has really put in the work, not just for some people, but for all people. It is this person in the form of our current Mayor Pro Tem, Vang. She has created alliances and across our community, and she performed the largest COVID response in our city, and we could not do it without her. There's a lot of people who are well right now because of this young lady. I want you to really put your hands together for our very own Mayor Pro Tem, Vang.
Good evening, everyone. How are you all doing? You look so beautiful out there. You know, even though I'm an elected official and I do a lot of speeches and I speak at a lot of events, I still get really nervous. And especially right now, my hands are shaking. I'm actually really nervous. But it's just such an honor. It's just such an honor to be recognized among all the honorees, trailblazers, fierce community advocates, who I look up to and who I admire. First, I just do want to thank Dr. Porter, and I want to thank NAACP Sacramento just for this honor, but really for the hard work, the heart and hustle that y'all do each day in and out, fighting for our families and our communities. Dr. Porter, I also want to say thank you really to you for your leadership in South Sacramento and District 8 and in our city and in our state. And as Betty shared earlier, you know, when we call, you are always there. From our vaccination clinic, I represent the district that had the highest cases of COVID in the city of Sacramento. And it was Pastor Porter, it was the Sacramento NAACP, and so many organizations, the outside-inside strategy, fighting with the county, those with resources to make sure that we got vaccinations right in South Sacramento is because of their advocacy. As you all know, we know that the current system is not set up for communities that look like us. And I'm so grateful for NAN and so many community advocates who are disrupting the system now each and every day to ensure that we can meet the needs of our most vulnerable communities and create a more just world. You know, I often share that while I'm a city council member, this seat doesn't belong to me. It doesn't belong to the former council member. It doesn't belong to the future council member that may take this spot, but it really belongs to the people. And as an elected official, your job is to be a good steward of the community and not to only fight for them, but bring resources back, especially to those who need it the most, and also to be a bridge builder. For government, oftentimes the system see members of our community as the problem, but truly they are actually the problem solvers. As an elected that is now part of the system, our job is to co-govern, but it's also not really to lead, but allow the community to lead because they actually have the answers to all of the issues that are happening right now in our city. Being a bridge builder for me is also not just doing that work as an elected official, but then also doing that own work in my own family and within myself. As an Asian American woman, among women, I think it's so important for me to be courageous and to call out anti-Blackness when I see it in my own community. Many of the rights that I know that I have today is because of the civil rights movement and because of Black leaders who put their lives on the line, literally their bodies on the line, so that I, my family, so many Asian Americans, Latino, and so many others can have the rights that we have today. And I often have to tell Asian Americans and Southeast Asian and Hmong folks that and many folks don't know this history, but after the Vietnam War, there was a genocide of our people because we fought along the U.S. And when we were seeking refuge to the United States. My parents fled Laos to Thailand because the United States recruited the Hmong folks to fight in the Vietnam War, and afterwards there was a complete genocide of our people. We were seeking refuge in this country, and at that time, in the 1975, after fall of Saigon, 65, close to 70% of Americans did not want Hmong, Lao, or Cambodian refugees to come to the United States. And you know who it was? It was African American, Black civil rights leaders that actually went to DC to fought to ensure that we could be here today. I'm grateful, and I know that I wouldn't be here today without them. And so when we talk about building bridges, it's about solidarity. It's about Black, Asian, Latinx, Indigenous folks. It's about all of us coming together. And while we may speak different languages, wear different clothing, culturally, true liberation happens when we are all in this fight together. And so I'm so grateful, again, just to have the opportunity as a young daughter of South Sacramento to wake up every morning, to have the opportunity to work with amazing, fierce leaders like Dr. Porter, fighting for our communities. And again, I'm just so honored to be in space with all of you today. Tonight, we celebrate all of our amazing work. And then tomorrow, we're back at it again, right? Because the fight for justice is long, but all of us are on the right side of history. Thank you so much. I've never gotten one of these before. Pretty cool.
Come on, let's give her another hand. All right. So now I'm back on my story. I got a call from Betty Williams. And she was like, you need to come down to the Capitol and speak, because on behalf of this group called APAPA. And then I really did not know who they were, but I know Betty Williams. And so I was like, all right, let's go and tell me what's happening. And he said, there's people going against, there's beating up, our API, people, members of our API community, and that's not right. And I was like, that's not right, Betty, you're right. And so we went down and we spoke, and then I got to know them. I got to know the Yins, CC Yin and Regina and Mary Yin, and then we were able to go to the Yin Ranch and learn more about our APAPA brothers and sisters. And when I started getting to know them, they started getting to know us. I said, I like these people. These are my people. And so because of that, because of how they are doing the work, their organization has been around for years, I think at least 30 years, doing the work, making things happen in California, and really being standard bearers for social justice, civil rights in their own way. And that's why I'm gonna recognize the APAPA organization and the Yin family. For those, is there a representative right here coming? I know you're here. Come on up. Come on, put your hands together for them as they come. Yeah, come on, fun.
What an amazing event. This event gives Maya Vang the shivers. That's pretty amazing. The quality of an award ceremony should be judged by the quality of the recipients. We get to attend a lot of award ceremonies, but I have not seen such a golden award ceremony with Mr. Golden from NFL, humbly sitting back there. It's perfect that this award is also called Building Bridges, because that's what APAPA is doing with other organizations now. Because when we have any event at the Capitol, and behind the room, there's one person standing called Betty, Stevante, and immediately the board gets up and pays attention. That's the power we give each other. We're all fighting from the outside, so we should all really work together. When APAPA started 30 years ago, there was no API legislator in California. Today, there are 21 legislators in California. National Action Network Sacramento started 5 years ago. I'm hoping and praying that 5 more years from now, we see at least 5 legislators from the National Action Network, the people sitting over here. And that's how we will get to the table. And that table, decision-making table, needs more color, more flavor. New leadership, like Maya Vang in the City Council, bring a completely different aspect to decision-making. And you have to see it to believe it. And I can see in this room, there are so many people with so many different ideas. Please get to the table, and APAPA is willing to help you. Mary is not here. We are making sure that she is burning because we are sending her videos and pictures of the beautiful performances. So on behalf of APAPA, what an amazing set of people. Thank you all. Thank you, Pastor.
How we doing? Yeah, come on, let's give our honorees a hand. Down to the last. So when I first started, Nan, or I was asked or kind of voluntold, was it voluntold by Reverend Sharpton to start Nan, an organization here, a chapter here. I was like, well, who can I have on my board to really help lift it up and give us some instant credibility? And first I asked my wife, right, to help me out because, we know who the real boss is, right, husband? Right, man? All right. And then secondly, I asked Dr. Margaret Fortune. And when I tell you, she did not hesitate to join and become education advisor. And then after that, she went ahead and she said, you know what? I might be able to find you some donors and all that. And I was like, really? It's like, yeah, let's work it out. And she took her genius and really just worked things out. And let me tell you, we wouldn't be here without her, and I need you all to just stand upon your feet and really honor the genius of Dr. Margaret Fortune. She's an education genius, a political strategist, and a good friend of mine. And we honor her today with this award. She is truly a bridge builder. My friend, Dr. Margaret Fortune.
Well, I want to thank you so much, Pastor Porter, Pastor Carlette, the whole board of NAN. I want to recognize my Fortune School family who is here. If you could please stand if you're from Fortune School. My students, my board members, and thank you so much. I want to take this award and accept it on behalf of the Fortune School organization, because when you get an award like this, there are many fingerprints on it. And I prefer awards with fingerprints on it. So what I want to do is ask my scholars who are here and my parents who are here to come to the front. And I want you to touch this award because it's because of you that it was given. I want to tell you that I got involved with NAM because, like many of you Sacramentans, I was watching the news at how Stevante Clark was being characterized by our then district attorney, and I didn't like it. And so when Pastor Porter called me to stand with a family I didn't know, I said, I'll come. And I stood with that family in their grief. And so it's important to me that always at the center of all of this is Stevante Clark and his family. We were given a charge to care for this family, and it's personal. And across this nation, we have said when black people have fallen at the hands of the police that we need to say their names. We don't need to describe them as a black man with a cell phone or a black woman we need to say their names and acknowledge the humanity of the people who are lost. And if you're black in America, you know that this can befall you, and it doesn't matter who you are or what you've accomplished in life. My father, who has passed away now, I will never forget him being followed home by the police to his own neighborhood. Didn't matter that he graduated with a PhD for Stanford, or that he was the superintendent of the Center Unified School District, or he was the deputy or assistant superintendent of the state of California. Those things didn't matter. He was a black man, and therefore he was a threat. It didn't matter that his hair was gray and that he was going the speed limit. So when this happened in Sacramento, we thought, Stevante Clark could be me. And so I answered the call. And to me, the most credibility that we can bestow upon anybody in our community is to name a school after them. Because that guarantees that you will say their name every day and that you will institutionalize them. So I was very proud to have Sequette Clark's permission to name a school after her son, Stevante Clark College Preparatory Middle School. We opened the doors of that middle school this school year, and now kids are wearing his name, and it also means his name is on their report card. And I bring my chief financial officer to this meeting because she is the one who is helping me to make sure that we have the land to build a building for him. And one thing that we do at Fortune School is that we keep our promises. So when we named a school after Tecoy Porter College Prep, the pandemic came and the building rose. We built that building in Meadowview, and a lot of people at the time of Stevante Clark's death were talking about Build Black. You can go down to Meadowview and see what Black built. So I won't go long, but I will say that I'm proud to have opened up my list of friends to make sure that NAACP Sacramento is a strong chapter, to collaborate with the porters and the other members of the board and community to make sure our work is substantive, and that this is a legacy that will continue. And I appreciate that the Clark family, in their grace, has leveraged a tragedy to say, we will make change in the field of education. We will make change in the field of social justice. And we will make change in the hearts of those who don't see the humanity of Black people and therefore feel comfortable gunning us down in the streets and in our own homes. That's why we're here. So I thank you for this award. This award has many hands on it. And I thank the senator for the certificate I'm about to get, because I'm a big fan of Angelique Ashby. She defends schools like mine. So where's that? Oh, that's nice. Thank you very much.
I knew it was going to happen. I got to bend over, Jesus. Once you hit after 50, you'll understand. There are a lot of decisions had to go into that right there. A lot of calculus had to happen. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Lord. So doing this work takes you into some places that you really don't realize you've never been before, some rooms you've never been before. When the Reverend Sharpton first came, he took me to some rooms in Sacramento I've never been in before. And he was like, you're the guy. And he said, start pointing me out to people of power. I'm like, real power. And there's power in this room, and there's, you're a symbol of that. And then one room that he took me into was one with major corporations. There are a lot of corporations that made a lot of promises after George Floyd occurred. After his death occurred, they made a lot of promises about diversity, equity, inclusion. But there's one corporation that I know that stood on their promises and are doing the work to fulfill and come through on their promises, and that is T-Mobile. T-Mobile. And so when we were planning this, we said we have to give T-Mobile an award, and they're going to explain to you why. But I sit on their California Diversity and Inclusion board, along with some members here, and let me tell you, they are doing the work. They're not perfect, but they're making it happen, and that's because of good leadership. And Clint and Marita and Brenda, some came from all the way from D.C., Washington, D.C., just to be with us and accept this little award from me, and I'm really proud about it. And I really want you to stand up and give them a nice Sacramento welcome. My brother Clint Odom, Vice President, one of the Vice Presidents of T-Mobile.
It's an absolute honor to be with you here tonight, to look at all of these beautiful faces. My face is aching as I've had a smile on it that begun from the second I walked into this room to this very moment. I cannot stop smiling, and I know God is smiling at what he sees here today. So Reverend talked to you a little bit about how T-Mobile has crossed into the life of NAACP Sacramento, and he's right. Reverend serves on our California Board of External Board of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and he's been a great partner to help us figure out how we can be better. And we're not new to this. We're true to this. I had some remarks, and I can tell you they're out the window. In 2018, at the time Stevante Clark was taken away from us, I was the legislative director for then Kamala Harris, the United States Senator from California. And I had the grim task oftentimes of listening every day to the news. Well, who's died today? Who's been killed today? And we asked the questions, well, were they robbing a bank? Were they committing a crime? Was there some action that they took toward the police? And we knew about this murder. We were watching this, we were watching the body cam footage, and we saw it, and we knew that it was not right. But so much death and destruction and lives taken from us were happening, it almost felt like we were helpless. But in 2018, the same year that Stevante was taken away from us, Kamala Harris introduced legislation in the United States Senate that was the most improbable piece of legislation that you could ever expect. This was legislation that had been attempted for over 100 years and had been rejected 200 times by the United States Senate. The rejection of this legislation was so epic that in 2005, the Senate actually issued an apology for its role in blocking this legislation. And this was legislation to make the crime of lynching a federal crime. Kamala Harris led the effort in the Senate, joined by Senator Cory Booker and Tim Scott of South Carolina, and they dared to do the impossible: make the crime of lynching a federal crime. And in 2018, the same year that Stevante was taken from us, that bill passed the United States Senate unanimously for the first time in over 100 years. And then on Valentine's Day of 2019, passed the bill again unanimously. I'm proud to say that in 2022, in a White House signing ceremony, I was there to witness the signing of the Emmett Till Justice for Lynching Act, which ensures that anyone who is killed by a civilian, by the state, because of the color of their skin or any other impermissible purpose will be subject to criminal penalty by the federal government. And I mention this today because I want you to know, and I want the family to know, that when this happened in 2018, we saw you, and we still see you. And we're not going to rest until this country is a better country, until police reforms that are taking place here in California are the law of the land. T-Mobile, I could tell you all about what we're doing in the community, and I've got a lot of great notes about that, but I think the most important thing I can tell you is that we are in this community and we are with you. And there will never be a moment in which you are standing alone, worried about a faceless, nameless corporation and whether or not they care. We care deeply, and the moment we stop caring, the person you see before you, who is a civil rights activist, won't be with T-Mobile anymore. But I'm with you, I'm one of you, and so proud to be doing this work inside the company And whatever we do for NAACP Sacramento is nothing compared to what you do for us in the honor of the association with you and us. So thank you. Okay.
All right, can we just give a hand for all of our honorees? Come on, real big, real big, real big. These are bridge builders, come on, in our community across the nation. We are so grateful for you all. I'm grateful for you supporting us and them. Listen, I got one more selection. Lena Byrd's gonna come back to close us out. Is that right? But before she comes, I would like all of our NAN board members and then anybody associated with doing this work that we're doing and helping us put this together, our people that are volunteers, our staff that's had a hand. Come on up to the front, please. Come on up to the front. Come on, NAN board members. We gotta get a picture. Keisha, come on, where's she at? Y'all give it a hand for LaKeisha Wells, who really helped put this together. Come on, Keisha, come from wherever you're at. Bonnie, come on, Bonnie. Come on, Bonnie. Marquita, that's it. Yeah, where's LaKeisha? Come on. Yeah, anybody else? Beverly, come on, Beverly. She worked our gala. Yep. That's it. There it is, there it is. This is the team, y'all. This is the team that made not just this, but all 3 days happen. Now we're gonna take a few pictures. I want you to clap while we take some pictures, right? All right, y'all, she's gonna take us home with her #1 hit on Billboard. Is this the Walk on Water? Come on, I want you to give it up for Lena Byrd Miles.
All right, we Walking on Water, which is a song that's basically saying, let's put all the excuses to the side, get out and do that thing that we're supposed to do, the purpose we were created and God made us for, which I see all the awards are showing that everyone is getting it done. So congratulations to all the recipients and honorees, and continue to do what you're created to do, whatever that is, however God is using you in the earth to get things accomplished for everyone, all humankind, whatever you're doing to help us move forward. Thank you, and keep on walking. Can I have it a little louder? There we go, there we go. Can you clap your hands with me? Out of reach, that's what happiness used to be. It was nothing more than a dream, life was incomplete. I was always coming up just shy of what I need. I was telling myself all the things I could never be, but I'm through with that. in front the other, step by step by step by step by. Excuses won't let you reach your goal. And you know that pride, it comes before you fall. Get rid of negative things you don't need. Nobody's stopping me but me if I got to get to where I got to go. To get to where I got to go. I'm walking and I won't be afraid no more. If I got to walk on water, yes I will. I can do the impossible with God's help out. Whoa, whoa, it's our time. We gotta go on our way to the unknown. Yeah, and I won't let nothing stop me. Don't let it stop you. Step by step by, just keep on telling yourself you got this. Yeah, and with God's help you can do anything. Step by step by step by step by. Thank you so much for having me. God bless you all. Thank you. I thought he was coming to sing. If I got to walk on water, get to where I gotta go. I'm gonna walk water, and I won't be afraid no more. Walk on water. I know it takes a miracle. I'm gonna walk water. Gonna walk on it, walk on it. Got to walk on water to get to where I gotta go. I'm gonna walk on water, and I won't be afraid no more. If I got to walk on water, I know it takes a miracle. I'm gonna walk on water, gonna walk on it, walk on it. Come on then, keep on walking, we need you.
Lena Byrd Miles, give it up for her. Come on. Check her out. She's on every platform ever. All right? Yeah. Thank you for coming. Have a good night.